As of late, we've been wide open looking at cold steel options. Today, I got one more for you. We're going to be looking at the Mini Leatherneck Double Edge. Let's go. I love the cold steel product line. I find it very entertaining. I like to just go out and look at everything they've got. It's an endless list of options depending upon what you like. I have reviewed a lot of cold steel knives, but one thing you typically won't find on my channel is a lot of folding knife reviews, because I'm really not a folding knife guy. I've got a handful of folders that I've looked at over time just out of curiosity. Some of them may have even been gifted to me. I've gotten them here and there. I am mostly a fixed blade guy, and I'm always on the lookout for different types of fixed blades, and especially stuff that's comfortable enough to carry around with you, because I do spend a lot of time talking about bushcraft, but I'm more into the self-defense arena, to be straightforward. When I'm walking around town or walking around during the day with a knife, yeah, it's nice to have that tool around to perform certain tasks, but I am mostly carrying that blade around as a defensive option. Now, if I go camping or I go hiking, I will be carrying a knife with me that can work accordingly. But this past week or so on my channel, I've been looking at a lot of various smaller, easy to carry defensive options. And the blade we're going to be looking at today, it's pretty obvious it was created for self-defense. And we all know that that's primarily cold steel's wheelhouse anyway. Today we're looking at the Mini Leatherneck. This is an awesome piece. We've got our specs right on the box. We've got a 3.5-inch blade. We've got an overall length of 6 3/4. This is made from 8CR13 MOV steel. It weighs 3.1 ounces. It's got a 3mm thick blade, 3.25 inch handle with a Cray X handle. Now let's take this out of the box and get a real look at it. That's a mean machine. I like the size of these blades for everyday carry. I've been carrying a Kyoto Tanto for a while, and it's just been so comfortable to carry. And I actually put zip ties on my Kyoto Tanto and I carry it horizontally. In fact, I think even while I'm talking about it, I've got it with me right now. So, you know, this is basically the same size carry. Now, there's a lot of options with this. You know, you can do the neck knife carry, which is what it comes with. It comes with the chain for you to do a neck knife carry. I'm not a big fan of that. I have just went out and purchased the C-clip. You can attach a C-clip to this and you can, you know, fool around with it and carry it upright or even sideways, I believe. And this is also a good boot knife option. On top of that, you can see how I put zip ties on my Kyoto Tanto. I'm not able to wear this with a really thick belt, but I can with the one I've got on today. Now, as you may already know, daggers are highly regulated. You know, so you may want to go out and check your state laws with regards to, you know, whether or not carrying something like this would be legal for you. In my particular state, this falls into the right length to be able to even conceal, but if it were bigger than this, I'd have to just wear it out in the open. It's not going to be hard to keep an edge on this, but I'm pretty sure most of you who would carry something like this are not really doing a whole lot of utility work with it anyway. In this video, I'm going to be doing some piercing. I've got a pretty thick skin laundry detergent bottle that I emptied out and just filled with water. I'm going to be using that to do some piercing and slashing, you know, but something like this right here is going through anything. You pull out any kind of meat, it's going through it like warm butter. It's just made for that. It's got a blade on both sides. It's very sharp right out of the box. Hair shaving sharp, so I don't need to do the paper test. I've been doing so many knife reviews as of late that just about all the hair on my left arm is gone. Cold steel has so many other knives in this category, and the counterattack especially is one you want to go out and look at. Go look at the counterattack series. They've got a full-size counterattack. They've got a smaller size. You're probably going to see me reviewing those knives in the near future. I just like them. They're so hard hitting. They're built for all-out warfare. Those things are so dangerous. But this is kind of like the smaller version of what that kind of blade is. Depending upon the knife you carry, it's good to practice deployment on a regular basis, just like you would with your firearm. If you carry a firearm, you want to practice the basic mechanics, deployment, getting in position, and all of that. It shouldn't be any different with a knife. Mine is going to be worn sideways. That's how I like it. I just like to pull my shirt up and pull the blade. So for me, it would look like pulling it that quick. And really, in a lot of situations, all you need to do is just reach under your shirt. You don't even have to lift it up. You know, if you're in a situation where you're using your hands or you're holding someone off, horizontal carry is just a very easy pull. I like to use a rope like this to hang my targets on, especially if I'm doing some piercing or knife work. And it also gives me a training option to slip underneath. Whatever you use, just learn to get out and flow with it. That's what matters. I know some may be wondering if I'm going to do a throw test on this. To be honest, I don't really like to throw these kinds of knives. Can I throw them? Yeah, I can throw it and make it stick all day, but I just don't recommend it. You know, a knife like this is probably never going to get used, so why not keep it looking good? Why not keep it sharp? Why not keep it ready for that oh crap moment? If I throw a knife in a review, I throw it because I have deemed it to be a formidable throwing weapon that would actually do damage in combat. But I've never believed that knife throwing is an absolute go-to in a combative situation. There are times when it is necessary and has been necessary, but you don't want to throw your only knife away. And this isn't a one-shot knife anyway. This is one of those knives that if you have to deploy it and use it in self-defense, you want to go to work and keep going to work until you're safe. And it shouldn't be any questions why knives like this have more regulations. They're twice as dangerous. They have a blade on each side. So like if you're cutting at certain angles in like a traditional grip and you're coming at an angle this way and coming at an angle this way, you know, with a one-sided blade, you can't come back like you can with a dagger. Here, you can go here, here, here. You just have more options. There's just more opportunities to cut and get cut. You know, with a one-sided blade, you can come in and you can power assist down. But something like this, you can go in and you can power assist down or up. It's also good to get out in free flow with your knife, and please don't get in a knife fight unless it's your only option to survive. Always run if you can. Just don't get into a knife fight. Don't pay attention to the movies. People get cut. All you got to do to know how much people get cut in a knife fight is to spar with somebody else. Get 2 red magic markers, washable, and just go to town. And then when it's all said and done, look at how many marks you have on each other. But it's still good to get out and flow. And also, too, think about when using a knife in defense or in that type of situation, keep your hand out of the way. You always want to keep your hand back. You don't want your hand out there risking getting cut itself or somebody grabbing it. So keep your hand back if you're using your blade. The cool thing about free flowing with a double edged blade like this is that, you know, you're slicing from every direction. So keep that in mind as you navigate through your drills and, develop new angles to work with. Depending upon what size you want to carry, it really comes down to preference and cost. If you want the most inexpensive option that's easiest to conceal, I would go with this. If you want something like this but bigger, I would consider taking a look at the counterattack. If you don't mind open carry and you want something twice this size and twice as effective and dangerous, you can go with that one. But either way you look at it, this little blade hits hard. As far as day-to-day task, I'll cut a rope for you. So as you can see, the Mini Leatherneck dagger is an awesome everyday carry and a great option for defense. I highly recommend it. And the best of all, it's very inexpensive. Take care.